Sitting on the porch, coffee in my hand, talking about life, faith in this land, from the woods to the world, truth don't lie. Welcome to Porch Talk, pull up and unwind.
Hey guys, Bushcraft Family, back again. This is Friday. I'm out and about. This is my porch talk, so to speak. I figure I might start bringing that back, even though I got a lot of flack for it before, me trying to copy other people. Everybody copies everybody at some point, even if they don't know they're actually copying people. You never know. And it's a good thing you guys are looking at this ugly mug instead of in front of us, because that was just a horrible sight that I just witnessed behind that we just passed. The plumber's crack is just a horrible thing to witness sometimes. That guy wasn't worried about showing the backside of his you know what, at the least. Anyways, welcome. This is Porch Talk, where I just blab about things that irritate me or things that are going on. Of course, this is Red Friday. Remember, everyone deployed. There's something that's irritating. This town tears down perfectly fine houses. You know, if there's a house that they can't pay their taxes and they get evicted or whatever you want to call it, they try to sell it, and if they don't sell it, they tear it down. In most cases, they remove everything, even the grass, and they put a parking area in that area. Even though there's no buildings or anything by it, it's still a parking area. Strange. And another thing that irritates me is that they take out the trees. You know, if a tree gets too big or something, oh no, we got to take it down. It's going to fall on the road. Well, when I first moved here, there was hardly any wind damage. You know, you wouldn't witness any wind damage. It's because they're taking the trees down because they're afraid the trees are going to cause the damage. But when they take all the trees out, the trees is what stops the wind, slows the wind down when it comes through town. I don't know. I figured since it's Friday, we'll go around looking and see if there's any yard sales. I miss yard selling. You know, it used to be so nice. You could go and spend a biggest part of the day just looking and finding yard sales in town. Now it's, you get lucky if you find a couple. So, like I said, you guys get to hang out with me while we look and see if we can find any yard sales. If not, well, we get to hang out together, right? Yesterday's Porch Talk, I talked about something probably shouldn't talk about, but got some interesting comments about it. And I think we should talk about stuff like that, you know? And looks like they're bleeding the hydrants, so to speak. Yeah, traffic's already picking up. I remember when we first moved to this town, there was hardly any traffic. Now we've gotten so many people that have moved to this area because, you know, let's do the small town thing. They get here and they complain that there's nothing here. That was the point of you moving here. Oh, why is there only a few fast food places? And then it was, oh, none of these places deliver, you know. And the DoorDash thing. Well, DoorDash only deliver, you can't get DoorDash in all the restaurants. Now it's full swing, you know. DoorDash or whatever they call them places. My son went and ordered something from Burger King, and was supposed to give him like a deal for being the first to use it or something like that, and never did. It ended up costing $28 for a burger and fries. And he said, never do that again. Oops. Come on. Gas is up, as everybody knows. I was just talking about Wednesday. Gas was $3.45. It is now $3.99. Keeps going up with, you know, are we going to war or are we not going to war? Are we going to war or are we not going to war type thing. So it's still not where it was with Biden. I'm not saying it's good or bad or anything like that, but fact being, everybody forgets about that. So I still would like to see it go back down. And hopefully you guys don't hear that music over there. There's a yard sale, but that's not really a yard sale. It was somebody's inventory for a second-hand store type place that charged full price, so to speak. Some of their stuff was so expensive that you could buy new for cheaper. It was nice looking around. Like, I've been shown a little bit about Antique Mall here we have in town. I just love going in and checking the stuff out. Most of the stuff I've seen over and over again, but every once in a while you see something that you didn't see before because there's just so much stuff. And I just love that part of it. I'm still not finding any dang yard sales. Nothing. We'll go down here and head down the back way and see if we can see anything over there. Yeah. It's a shame. There used to be so many yard sales. And I understand why. It's because we have Facebook Market and stuff. Why drag all that stuff out in the yard and sit outside all day long waiting for people to come by it when I can just take a picture of it and post it on the Facebook Market? Don't have to worry about picking all the stuff back up again. Come on, let's go, people. I understand that, you know, but for us people who remember yard sales in its heyday, it was always good getting out, looking around, looking at the stuff. Today it's just too easy, you know. Just pop a picture up. I still have not sold anything on Facebook Market. I probably should try, you know, but it's still at that point to where I'm hanging on to the good days. And we're having a conversation about that, me and my son, about that. How everybody said back in my day, the younger generation don't like hearing that, evidently. And from what my son was telling me, he says it's, if somebody starts with that, they phase them out and they call them boomers, even though, you know, when boomers were the generation of boomers. So anybody that talks like that, even him, he says, he talks about, you know, Pokemon Gen 1 or something like that, and they call him a boomer. I'm like, don't they know what a boomer is? Evidently not. But amazing how things change. You know, I could say the same thing back when I was a teenager and stuff, and somebody trying to tell me stuff, but I would still listen, and I would treat them with respect, because I knew if I didn't treat somebody with respect, if my dad was around or my grandpa, you would find out why you respect your elders. And we don't have that now. If my kids, even if they're old as they are, if I would still get on them. They're going by here. This used to be a school my kids went to, South Lawn Elementary, which they closed it down. It's now a daycare center. Which, you know, I made a post not too long ago that they have smoke shops and liquor stores and fast food restaurants and everything all around. You know, every block you go, you run into that stuff. Well, fact being, that's the next thing is there's so many daycare to take care of kids and stuff, which I understand why. I'm not digging on it or anything. I'd rather have a daycare center, a good daycare center, than a liquor store or something like that, or a smoke shop. But what I'm getting at is that's the norm now. There's so many of these. They're popping up all over the place because both parents are working and they have to have somewhere to put the kids. Back in my day, you know, the mom stayed home and took care of the kids. I'm not saying, you know, women's lib and everything, you know. Things were better when the mom took care of the kids and made sure the kids were being kids and not doing bad things and stuff. Again, I'm not dissing women to go out and work and stuff, because, you know, my wife did the same thing. She had to go out and work. But we also made sure that there was somebody around the kids. There was no daycare for the kids and stuff. That's the main thing. You know, I'm not dissing anybody for it. It's just the times are different. And if you remember times of the old, it was mainly the woman stayed home. Sometimes it was the man, you know, Mr. Mom thing. I remember the movie in the 80s. Everybody made fun of him and stuff. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and head off here. I'm going to go find something to eat, and we will catch you on the next one. Like always, God bless.